Hi, and welcome to Rise and Thrive Yoga's New to Yoga series, week 4 instructional video. So you've made it this far, you're doing amazing. Now we're going to learn a few more poses and that infamous down dog that you're probably wondering why we haven't gotten to, and a little bit more about that later. So we're going to go through a couple warm-ups, review a few poses that we did because it's very important to warm up your body especially before you move into some of the more complicated poses like down dog, which use a lot more muscles. So it's always important to warm up and not jump into it. So even though we're reviewing poses that we did before, it's very important for your body. So let's get started. We're just going to take a few deep breaths just to focus on our practice today. So find a downward gaze and just take a couple deep breaths here. Awesome. You can open your eyes. We're going to start with just a couple of wrist stretches because we're going to be up on our hands a lot today, so using our wrists a lot, so it's very important to stretch them. So we're just going to start out with an easy one. First, you're just going to put your hand forward, fingertips facing down, palm away from you, and just press down on your fingertips, pressing them back towards your body. So you may feel a stretch through the top of your forearm. So just gently press till there's a gentle stretch there without pain. You can sit up straight here. You can engage your core, bringing belly button towards spine, so we can warm up a few other muscles while we're here. So just take some nice slow breaths, stretching through that forearm and wrist, and then switching sides. One side may feel a little bit different than the other, like most of our poses do. So just find what feels good over here. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, relax the rest of your body. Awesome. Then we're just going to interlace our fingers, press our palms away from us. So we're stretching through our upper back, through our arms, through our fingertips. Again, sitting up straight. Bring them up overhead. And then release all the way back down. Awesome. Take a deep breath here. Blow it out. All right, and meet me in tabletop position. So we all should be pretty familiar with this as we've been hanging out here a lot. So shoulders stacked over wrists, fingertips spread, gently pressing those fingertips into the mat. Tops of the feet gently on the mat. Again, you can put a blanket under your hands, under your knees, but I would really suggest maybe just one under your knees, under your hands. We're going to be moving a little bit more today, so just want you to be safe, and just make sure if you do put a blanket underneath your hands, just to make sure you're on a yoga mat so it's nice solid surface so the blanket doesn't slip. All right. So from tabletop position, our back is flat. Engage your core, bringing belly button towards your spine. And we're going to go through a few rounds of cat-cow. We're going to go nice and slow. So we're going to inhale, bringing chin and chest forward. Belly drops towards the ground. Exhale, chin comes to chest, nice and slow. Middle back rounds, lower back rounds. And again, inhale, dropping that belly first, middle back, upper back, and then chin and chest forward. So you'll notice I'm going a lot slower, adding in a few more cues, because now that you're well practiced in this, we can go nice and slow. So now slowly, just without moving the rest of your body, bring your chin to your chest. Then start rounding your upper back, middle back, lower back, really pressing away with your hands, and then reversing it, inhaling to come forward, so dropping that belly, lower back, middle back, upper back, and then the chin and chest come forward. Last time, exhaling through, chin comes towards chest, then upper back rounds, middle back rounds, lower back rounds, and gaze goes back towards those feet. Awesome. And just slowly coming back to tabletop. All right, so now we're gonna So we're working up to down dog. So we're gonna do a lot of movement right now to really warm up our body to get there. All right, so we're gonna go from table to child's pose. So I'm gonna have you bring your knees a little bit wider than your hips, big toes together. All right, so we're in table. We're gonna take a big breath in and then slowly exhale back to child's pose. All right, we're gonna go right back up. So you don't have to bring your forehead all the way towards the mat, just bring it slightly hovering, and then inhaling, coming back up to table. Awesome. Exhaling back to child's pose. Really reaching those fingertips forward, hips going back over your heels. Inhaling to come back up again. Exhaling back. Now that you've got this movement down, I want you to go nice and slow, really focusing on that breath. We're stretching through a lot of muscles right now. And you've got the movement down. So I want you to focus on that breath, relaxing the body, relaxing the muscles. You don't have to go at the same pace as I am, just go at what feels good for you. Just remember you're exhaling as you're going back to child's pose. And then inhaling as you're pulling back up to table. Awesome, you're doing a great job. All right, and then making your way back to tabletop, we're gonna line those knees back up under our hips. So they were wider for going back into child's pose. Now we're going back to traditional tabletop pose. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Then we're gonna move that right hand a little bit more into the center underneath your chest. Then we're gonna inhale that left arm up, left fingertips reaching towards the ceiling for an open revolve table. And then exhaling back down. All right, we're gonna do that same side again. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. So your lower body is staying about the same. We're just opening up from the chest and from the center of your core. Inhale up, gaze follows fingers the whole time. Stretching through the neck and the upper back body. Awesome. Now let's switch sides. So bring that left hand under your chest a little bit more centrally. And we're going to inhale the right fingertips up. Gaze follows fingers. Exhale that hand back down to the mat. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Awesome. Take a deep breath here. Blow it out. All right, we're moving and grooving. So now we're going to go from tabletop. I told you this was a foundational pose. We use it a lot. All right, so from tabletop, we're going to bring our forearms down to the mat. So our forearms are down on the mat. Our hands are spread, fingers spread wide, palms down. All right, and our forearms are parallel to each other. And right now my shoulders are stacked about over my elbows. All right, and your bum's in the air. It may feel a little bit weird, but bear with me, we're getting there. All right, so now you're gonna walk your knees back a little bit. Again, if you need to hit pause and throw a blanket under your mat or under your knees on your mat, go for it. Or you can always roll up the end of your mat so it kind of folds over and gives you a little double protection on your knees. All right, so from here, we're gonna sink our hips back slightly, bringing forehead to the mat for puppy pose. So our bum's still sticking up in the air. All right, forearms are down on the mat. You may need to adjust where your elbows are or where your knees are, just for the length of your body.
So depending on how far you moved your knees back, you may need to move them farther back, more in, but you should be fairly comfy in this pose. It's a little weird, but it's definitely should be comfy and relaxing. So your forehead's resting on the mat. Your forehead could be resting on a block if you'd like, so you can place a block right there. Could be resting on a folded blanket. So I just want you to take a few deep breaths here. We're really stretching through the backs of your hamstrings and your glutes and your lower back, your upper back. So you're getting a really good stretch in all different places here. So just take a couple more really nice slow breaths. All right, so from puppy pose, we're gonna bring our knees in a little bit, back in a little bit, okay? Forearms are still on the mat, hands are still on the mat. We're gonna tuck our toes under, all right? So tucking your toes under. Then we're gonna come up on our hands, all right? So we're in like a tabletop with our toes tucked. Our hands are out a little bit farther though. You can see my wrists are not stacked underneath my shoulders right now, all right? So get those toes under, and we're gonna get ready to lift up our knees, okay? So keep your hands where they are. Really press those fingertips into them. Press away from your shoulders, all right? Come up on your toes, keeping your knees bent, and then start to bring your chest back towards your thighs, all right? So this is down dog with knees bent. Really press into those palms, press into those fingertips, let your head hang in between your arms, and you're up on those toes, knees bent, and chest coming towards your thighs. All right, now I want you to come back down onto your knees. All right, so if you've never done down dog before, that may have felt a little intense. It's really a lot of strength goes into down dog. So that's why we're taking it so slow. All right, so take a deep breath here. All right, toes are tucked. We're gonna go back up again, all right? So lifting your knees off, pressing through your palms, bringing your chest back towards your knees. All right, a lot of times in down dog, your knees are straight, all right? But we're really working into this, and I want just your knees bent. If you've done down dog before, you wanna straighten your knees, go for it. You can straighten your knees and just press your heels back towards the mat. All right, that's just the final part. All right, take a deep breath here, blow it out. All right, drop those knees back down. Awesome. All right, let's just untuck our toes and then sit back to child's pose. All right, take a deep breath in, blow it out. Another deep breath in, blow it out. Awesome, come back up to table. I'm gonna do that one more time. So tuck your toes under. You got this. Press into those fingertips, press into the palms, pressing your shoulders away from your ears. All right, so really press into those toes, press into those fingers and those palms. That's what's holding you up. All right, bring your belly button towards your spine, use that core. And then lift up those knees. Press your chest back towards your thighs. And if this is hard for you, that's normal. All right, just take a few deep breaths here. If you want to straighten those knees and press the heels back towards the mat, go for it. But really think about pressing your fingertips and your palms into the mat and coming up on those toes. Bringing chest really towards your thighs if you can. Head hanging down in between your arms. So crown of your head towards the mat. Awesome. Come back to tabletop. Great job. All right. Now let's bring the knees wide. Big toes together and really sink back into that child's pose. We just did a lot of hard work. Let's stretch it all out. We're going to wind down now. Awesome. Come back up to table. Then we're gonna make our way onto our backs, cool down our body. We just did a lot of hard work and learned a lot. So make your way down onto your back. We're just gonna go into a supine butterfly. So bringing your soles of your feet together, knees out to the side, hands by your side. Soft gaze at the ceiling or the sky. Just let your lower back come in contact with the mat. And just take a few restful breaths here, opening through the hips. Awesome. Bring your knees together. Soles of the feet into the mat. We're going to go into reverse pigeon. So bringing right ankle over left thigh. Option to stay here, right where you are. Pressing your lower back into the mat. Or option for a little deeper stretch is to lift that left foot up off the mat, grabbing behind that left thigh. Gently pulling it towards you, dropping your shoulders back towards the mat. Flexing both feet. And hang out here, taking some slow, deep breaths. And releasing your hands. Your hands are behind your thigh. Everyone releasing that right foot back down to the mat. Take a deep breath here. Blow it out. And then switching sides, bringing left ankle over right knee. Really opening up that left knee to the side. Option to stay here. Gently pressing your lower back into the mat. And then for a deeper stretch, lifting that right foot up off the mat, grabbing behind your right thigh and gently pulling it towards you. Another deep breath here. Awesome. Releasing that left foot down, both feet down onto the mat. And then when you're ready, you can come up to a seated position. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe. So that concludes week 4's instructional video for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. We took some big strides. You got up into down dog. And so I invite you to practice this a couple times this week if you'd like, if you have time to fit it in. It's a great one to go back for because getting into down dog is really important to follow the right steps for it so you can be successful and feel good in it. And then stay tuned because week 4's class flow is coming up this week where we're going to put a lot of what we've learned in the last 4 weeks together and put it in a class flow setup. So I will see you back here for the next video. Have a great day.